Welcome back to Goodnight, Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy and I'm here to read you another story. And I am so excited because we're in the middle of reading books about fall. I love fall. Fall is when it gets a little cooler outside and the leaves start to change colors and fall off the tree. And I have a book tonight called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Fletcher is a little fox who has a favorite tree, and the leaves start falling off the tree, and he gets really, really worried. And then he starts to just try to do some tricky things to make it all stop. But I don't think you can stop fall from coming. Well, we're going to see what happens when Fletcher tries to stop all the leaves from falling off the tree. Are you ready to get into this fun fall book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves, written by Julia Rawlinson, pictures by Tiffany Beek. The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of the den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sound of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. Look at Fletcher. He's a little fox who doesn't understand why everything's changing colors. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" his mother asked. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Don't worry. It's only autumn," she said. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry. It's only autumn," he said. "You'll feel better soon." Fletcher loved his tree. He wanted to let it know everything's going to be okay. But the tree didn't get better. Each day more leaves turned brown. One morning the wind blew a small brown leaf off of a branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. Uh-oh, the leaf is beginning to fall. Fletcher catches it. He thinks that it shouldn't get away. "Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you." Fletcher looked around, picked up a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to a branch. Just then, another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. "Now you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. Poor Fletcher, he really wants to make sure that leaf stays on the tree. The next day a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree. I'll catch them for you. I promise." Round and round whirled Fletcher and the swirling leaves. Oh no, it's so windy and all those leaves are blowing off the tree. Fletcher's trying to catch them all, but that would be a really big job. "Leaves, wonderful, just what I need for my nest," said a squirrel. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "The tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bounding off. "Help! Help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. Oh no, the squirrel needs those leaves. That's what he does in autumn, collects them for his nest. But Fletcher doesn't understand. "Leaves, terrific. Just what I need to keep a porcupine warm," said a porcupine rolling around. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not anymore," snuffled the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help! Help! The wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves!" cried Fletcher. Oh no. Suddenly a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them onto the tree's branches. Soon the trees were leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. "Thank you, birds! Thank you!" he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky, and drifted off to sleep. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wriggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ear and nose and filled his dream with a whispering sound. Oh no, he's asleep under the tree and he doesn't know all his leaves are falling off. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I am so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw high in the branches one small leaf still holding on. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher as he began to climb. He crawled along to the last leaf and held it firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew and the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't worry." Wow, Fletcher's being so brave and so helpful. But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a plip, the leaf got let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. Oh no, he couldn't hold it on. It wasn't supposed to stay. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to the den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in. But all night long he could only think of its tree, all on its own. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing. The air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky, and pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles, shining silver in the early light. "You are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug. Then he went back to the den for a nice, warm breakfast. Look at how beautiful that tree looks. It's all covered in icicles and snow, and it looks so pretty. Fletcher was so worried that something was wrong with his tree because the leaves kept falling off. But he didn't know that that's what had to happen. In order for this to happen, you have to have fall before you can have winter, and the leaves have to fall off the tree before the ice can get on there. Wow, that's so amazing. You know, I think it's amazing how God makes the different seasons happen, how the leaves fall off the tree just in time for winter so that the icicles can cover the trees and make them look so beautiful. This was a good book about fall and a good book to get us ready for winter. But it's not winter yet. We need to enjoy fall for a little while longer. Like Fletcher was enjoying his leaves, we can go outside and enjoy the leaves that are falling now. I love fall, and I hope you do too. And I hope you spend a lot of time outside this fall. But not right now, because right now it's time for my little foxes to get into bed. I need you all to get under your covers, get cuddled up, curled up, ready for a really good night's sleep. And tomorrow, if you do get to go outside and play in the beautiful fall weather, make a big pile of leaves and jump inside them, because that's a fun thing to do in the fall. But if your mom tells you to stop, obey, and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm going to be sitting right here, ready to read another book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.